Around the age of 3, children start to understand more about the world around them. They're more independent. They start to talk in sentences. They get better at expressing their feelings and their fears. For example, they may be afraid of the dark. Encourage your child to express feelings. Respect what your child feels, thinks, and says. This is how you can strengthen your relationship with your child. Teach your child some words to express feelings. Tell your child how you feel when you are happy, sad, mad, or worried. Help your child through everyday challenges. Your child will learn that they can trust you and that their world is a safe place.
Okay. All right, I know you're upset because you lost, but it's okay to lose sometimes.
Do you feel better?
Okay.
If a parent makes fun of a child's fears and feelings, the child will stop sharing them. This can damage the parent-child relationship. Shaming a child has the same effect. 3-year-olds need their parents' help to deal with emotions. They need to be comforted, not isolated. This will help them develop empathy for others too.
So by the time your child reaches the age of 3, he or she is becoming more autonomous. They are better able to express their needs, but also beginning to be able to actually meet some of their own needs. So their language has improved significantly. They have many, many, many more words. They're also beginning to understand the concept of rules and limit setting and how that is used in terms of relationships with their peers, etc., on the playground, at daycare, or at preschool. One of the words that many parents of 3-year-olds will often hear is the word no. I need you to do this. No. I need you to do that. No. When you need your child to move on to another activity or behave a certain way, rather than just being very directive about it, you want to turn this into a conversation. Will you clean up your room now? Would be a no question to me. What a parent might want to do is say, what are some of the things that we have to do today to tidy up the house? And now we're making a list. We need to tidy up the basement. We need to tidy up our bedrooms. We need to tidy up the recreation room. So now you're having a conversation. What should we start with first? Should we do it together? What part of the house do you think you can deal with on your own? Do you think you could do your room on your own? So it's a much longer conversation rather than just a directive to a child. Many 3-year-olds will experience their first separation from you as a parent because maybe they're going to a preschool program or a soccer program, or it may be as simple as they're going to be having an overnight at Grandpa and Grandma's house. So you want to let your 3-year-old know well in advance of what's going to be happening. You want to reassure them that you're going to be coming back, but you also want to reassure them about who's going to be with them while you're away. What you don't want to do is be sneaking away, because what that does for a young child is make them feel very insecure. When is she going to sneak away next? They actually are on alert, worried, and spend far too much time then worried about, is that going to happen again? Is she going to sneak away again from me? If you can visit where they're going to go in advance, that's great. So for instance, for a preschool program, if you can walk over to it and peek through the windows so they can get a chance to see it. And then if there's a way for them to have a friend join them. So if they're being signed up for a soccer program, is there another child from the neighborhood who might also be registered, who your child is familiar with? So now there's somebody else there that they know. Getting children to actually change or move on to a different activity or a different, focus during the course of the day can sometimes be difficult, especially when kids are really engaged in what they're doing. First and foremost, let kids know in advance. Don't walk into the room and say, oh, time to clean up. We've got to move on to the next activity. Instead, give them maybe even 2 or 3 time warnings. So give them a 15-minute warning, maybe a 10-minute, maybe a 5-minute. So you're letting them know in advance that this is going to be coming to an end. But also you want to know what it's going to be replaced with. We need to clean this up and finish up because we're going to be doing this next. So you're giving them a sense of what is going to happen in their day next. That helps. That helps them to feel secure. It helps them to feel like they have a little bit of control over what's going on, because now they can have a conversation with you about it. Let's take a look at how this dad gets his child to tidy up his toys.
Hudson, can you please clean up the blocks? Would you like my help? Okay. Hey, buddy. We're gonna clean these blocks up, and you and me can do it together, okay? Maybe Emerson can help too, and then we can do something else. Let's clean up these blocks. I'll get the bag. I'll get this one and put that one in. Can you get a blue one and put one in?
So I love this. Hudson, I think, is his name, and he's basically pretending like he doesn't hear Dad tell him that it's time to tidy up. So he's just very focused on what he's doing. And Dad remains very, very calm, but again, tries a different way to engage Hudson in the task that needs to be completed.
That's yellow. In the bag. That's blue. In the bag.
I think it's really important to note that Hudson's dad is actually with him and actively engaged in the task. This isn't a parent who's walked into the room and said, you need to tidy up. This is a parent who's right on the floor, he's with his kids, and he is actively participating in the task that needs to be done. And because of that, he's actually been able to get both of the kids to actively engage in this tidying up. And by the end, it's actually turned into a really fun game for them. And throughout this, Dad is also acknowledging, good job, good work, thank you for doing that. So lots of positive reinforcement for the positive behavior he's seeing. Timeout is something that we see parents using when a child misbehaves, and it really doesn't give a chance for a child to learn about what it is that he's done wrong. So rather than using timeout, I encourage parents to use time in. So when your child misbehaves, the first thing you want to do is let them know that they need to stop the behavior, right? Then you want to be close to them to have that conversation about why this is inappropriate. And the next piece is really key because you've told them to stop, you now have to give them some other options. Instead of doing that, what are some other things you could have done instead when you felt that way? You want to start to build that foundation for thinking through, oh, this wasn't what I should have done. These were other options I could have chosen to take. So you want to begin to have those conversations when misbehavior happens. Let's talk for a minute about the use of physical force with children as young as 3 and what it actually accomplishes. While physical force may stop the behavior in the moment, so yes, the child stops hitting another child or stops, touching things he's not supposed to, is he actually learning anything from that experience? No, he's not internalized anything other than that. When I do this, my parents' only reaction is to hurt me, which is not the message that we want children to be walking away with. We want them to learn about why was this wrong, what made it inappropriate, and what could you have done instead of what you did. When children turn 3, this is a busy time for you as a parent and for your child. They feel quite independent. They're ready to run off and explore the world, but they still need you to be close by. Going to encourage parents to continue having lots of good conversations and to remember to still find time to actually play and be engaged with your 3-year-old. They still want to have that kind of time with you. Those moments when you're playing together are also wonderful times to talk about what they're learning. What are the things that they're curious about? Because now they're starting to ask a lot of why questions. Why is it like this? How come this happens? So these are wonderful conversations for you to have with your 3-year-old. Anytime during the day.
3-year-olds are getting better at expressing their feelings. Encourage your children to talk about their fears and emotions. Let them know it is normal to have feelings and thoughts, and that you have them too. Help your children understand the world around them to reduce their fears. Don't punish them or make fun of them. Punishment and embarrassment are hurtful, and teach the child to do that to others. Be gentle with them. They will see that you respect them and will gradually learn to treat others the same way. With your 3-year-old, always listen to your child. Teach your child words that express feelings. Explain to your child how things work. Be available when your child needs you. Don't make fun of your child. Do not shame your child. Do not use sarcasm. Plan transitions and explain them. And try to see the situation from your child's point of view.